Hey, this is Evan Woodbery with Go Vols Extra in the Knoxville News Sentinel. I'm at Neyland Stadium here in Knoxville, and this is a place that Tennessee is very eager to get back to. Spent the last 2 weeks at two of the toughest road venues in America, first at Oregon, then at Florida, and it's 2 losses. You know, what people expected, I think, out of those games. In the first one, Tennessee was overmatched by Oregon's very powerful offense, and in the second game, Tennessee's vulnerabilities on offense showed against Florida's top-ranked defense. So I think for this week, the big focus has been on the offensive side of the football, specifically at quarterback. The quarterback competition has narrowed down a little bit, but it's still not fully resolved necessarily. Nate Peterman is out, presumably for the next month or so, with some sort of broken hand or hand injury. Butch Jones said he underwent surgery on Sunday and is out for at least 4 weeks. That leaves Justin Worley, the starter for the first 3 games, who was benched at Florida, and then 2 true freshmen, Riley Ferguson and Josh Dobbs, who will compete this week in practice going into the South Alabama game. But Butch Jones said, as of right now, Justin Worley is still the #1 quarterback.
As of right now, Justin Worley is the starter, yes. You know, there's a lot on that young man's plate. And again, I think we forget that these are still 17 to 22-year-old student athletes. These aren't professional football players. You know, and I think we get caught up in all that. They have families, you know, they have friends, you know, they have people that are there at the games, and they're very prideful individuals. But, you know, you look at Justin, you know, the setback of, you know, when you're a competitor, it hurts when you're not the starter. But the way he managed his business, and when he got his opportunity, he didn't feel sorry for himself. And he went in there, and he was leading. If you noticed in the huddle, when he wasn't in, he was still leading. And those are all the other things that I looked for in the quarterback intangibles, and I was very pleased with that aspect.
Tennessee's defense made some strides at Florida, specifically on the end of the defensive line. They got Corey Vereen back, who was in some third down pass rushing situations, and Butch Jones really liked what he saw out of him. But he also had a lot of praise for a veteran, Marlon Walls, who's been playing a lot at defensive end. He sees that as a real strength for them, and he thought Marlon Walls had one of his best games of his career.
You know, Marlon has been a great leader. It's important to him, and I thought he played his best football at Florida, and we're going to need him, obviously, as we continue to progress here.
So join us this week for tons of coverage on Go Vols Extra and the Knoxville News Sentinel. Leading up to the South Alabama game, we'll have the reports from practice and any updates on the quarterback situation. As we expect, it will be Justin Worley, but Butch Jones has left open a sliver of possibility for one of those two true freshmen to walk in, whether Riley Ferguson or Josh Dobbs, and that'll be one of the big storylines this week that we'll be following on Go Vols Extra.